Welcome back to the final lesson in how to become a real estate developer. Now, by now, you probably have been overwhelmed with information, but it's worth it. So go back and replay these modules over and over again. Email me, contact me, let me know if you have any questions, and I'd love to be able to help you on this journey even more. But now let's get into one of my favorite parts, and this is the marketing and the selling of the development. Now, this involves not only the marketing of the development for tenants or other people you're trying to sell the project to. So you may be developing it to sell it to someone else, to another investor, or it also involves marketing and selling of individual pieces of the project to different customers and clients and your target market. Everything we've been working for up until this point. So by now, the development is on its way to being built, or it's already, being built and almost done, and you are getting to the point where you are needing to sell or make sure that the property is fully rented or leased, etc. So let's dive in to this branding, to talking about pre-sales and leveraging online platforms to get you what you need. Now, when we talk about branding is so important in real estate. Who you are and what your brand represents speaks volumes to the community. So here are just a few strategies on building out your brand. In the top right corner, you see a logo for one of my developments, and it's just something simple we put together in a platform that allows you to design things. It's called Canva. So there's going to be a link in our resources for you to create your own Canva account. You can create a free account or you can use a paid account. Either way, you want to help your client create a name and a logo for their development. Make sure that development or that brand has a personality. Our personality is kind of like chic, and it's evident in how we even had our launch party. But savvy chic is what I would kind of describe it. And then in this brand, you want to use whatever colors and visual appeal to highlight what are the unique selling points of this particular development. Now, for us, for this particular development with that logo, the unique selling point was that it's conveniently located in the city where a housing shortage exists, but it also provides brand new level 2 accommodations for people looking to rent. And if they're in the workforce, although we're requesting market-based housing, because of the workforce development partnership we have, we are able to allow all of the potential tenants to apply for work-based financing and use that toward their rent. So that's kind of our unique proposition, and that is part of our branding. Now, also along the lines of branding, you want to create and design consistent marketing material. This includes any visuals, any brochures, how the amenities are going to look on the brochure, the pictures and images of those, and those typically come from the architect or the interior designer of the project. So that's where you start to have fun and you start to see your full development come to life. You want to make sure your website and social media profiles also match. When you're building your brand, it is so critical that if you're looking for people to buy or purchase property or rent from your development, that you are consistent with your website creation and your social media messaging. This helps people feel good about their purchase or their anticipated purchase. You also want to make sure that brand experience across touch points is consistent and that people are able to communicate what they need and what they're seeing you communicate consistently across all of those platforms. And lastly, under branding, you want to build a story around the brand. Our story really captured the project and why we wanted to build this project. It started with the initial PowerPoint. It continued with the story that was told in the local newspaper, which then got picked up by another news outlet. And then that continued with all of the branding around the different meetings that we had and what we gave to the city, which then became public to the county and to the city. That brand then continued as we had the launch party by way of the colors that we used, the navy blue, the pink, and being able to show the community the consistency of who we were and who we were representing. All of that allowed us to not only involve the community in the planning, but also involve the community in the execution and the receipt of all the benefits of this community, especially because we were trying to fulfill a need that had been expressed by the city from the beginning. As it relates to pre-sales, any realtor knows that if you're launching a new development or you've been a part of new construction developments, pre-sales are everything. Pre-sales are where people get excited about what's coming. It's where they decide that they're going to be a first, buyer or a first investor. So pre-sales are important. When you're looking at pre-sales, you want to create an anticipation campaign. This is the type of campaign that tells people what's coming and what is available to them when it gets here. It gives lots of images, lots of pricing forecast so that people can say, okay, this is something I can see myself investing in. You don't have to have the exact price, but you should have some type of range. And then an email list so that you can collect the names of people who are interested in these pre-sales. This is how you engage the audience. And don't overlook the opportunity to use local influencers or community leaders to help share in the anticipation of your development. That is probably the most credibility anyone will get, is when a local famous person or popular person is talking about your development. That will help you in the community more than anything. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't say this earlier about community involvement, but you must be able to speak to the community and be nice to the community, because they're the ones that also get to decide about the zoning and the regulation changes about how that land is going to be used. So you always want to be in communal conversations with the community so that they are a part of what you're looking to do. So as you are preparing and continuing to build excitement around the pre-sales, you also want to collect data from those pre-sales. And I mentioned this before, but using a system such as MailChimp or another CRM system that helps you manage the relationships of the customers is going to be so beneficial, because those people are going to be the list of people who are first on the who's going to buy first list or who's going to rent first list. So creating that anticipation and having access to those names, those numbers, those emails is crucial as you're trying to sell the development. Now, in this image or these series of images, you see the branding, you see the consistency in the colors, you see these custom hard hats that we had ordered, and then a sticker of the logo placed right in the center of the hard hats as mementos, not only for the family, but also for the city officials. This anticipation that we created from this event helped even the city leaders get more excited about the decision they made years ago to help us rezone the project. It was so amazing. They said over and over again, this is the best groundbreaking ceremony we have ever attended. Not only did we have good food, but we also had a DJ, and we just made it our own. But the consistency in branding, the consistency in the anticipation announcements and the materials and the resources all helped to paint a beautiful picture that we had it together. Even though underneath the surface, we had a whole lot of problems. Doesn't matter. We still were able to produce a simple brand identity that helped with the anticipation and pre-leases as we were doing. We weren't selling anything, but we really were. We were selling the idea that we wanted people to lease properties from us, right? So that's how this went. And then I even painted all of those shovels gold with gold spray paint. Like, that's above and beyond. And you too can do that for all your clients. Another part of our branding was, as I mentioned, the gold shovels. We also had programs. Who prints programs these days? Some people, right? We printed programs so people could see the order of how we were going to have the event. We also were able to honor all of our city council people and county commissioners who came and put their names on the program so they could keep it as a memento. That also spoke volumes to those who were in attendance. And then look at those cute little centerpieces that we had for our groundbreaking ceremony. Not only were they filled with real live plants, but they also, and flowers, but they also were painted pink to match our theme. And then we even had tools that were pink that were part of the centerpiece. So all in all, the branding helped to inform the pre-sales and all of the image that we were trying to create for that day. And lastly, you see that big old caterpillar. That was pure ambiance. We did not need the caterpillar that day, nor did we actually use it to dig up any dirt. We simply had it on site so people could get the feel of this big, massive construction piece of construction equipment and really get into the vibe with us. So that was by far just an amazing addition to the day. And then you see on the right, me pictured with our 2 event planners who did an amazing job of having this groundbreaking ceremony in our local city, thus making it the best one that our city officials had attended that particular year.